All right, Dave, what's going on with tariffs?
Wow.
Let's just get right to it, okay?
What?
What's going on? Yesterday, 90-day pause on not the 10% global, the other ones.
Yeah, the 10% global is supposedly going to stick. And we'll see if that actually happens in the long run. People say, well, in fact, in the Wall Street Journal this morning, it says, well, Trump blinked. Well, I don't think he did blink. I think what happened is we've been talking about these things for a long time. A lot of presidents have talked about this. A lot of people have talked about fairer trade. And, I heard the discussion with Mark Caleb Smith, who I really appreciate his opinion on this. And it was mostly in agreement with what I think, especially the part where he talked about, as a Reagan Republican, we love free trade. And the problem is we have a lot of free trade going on here, but it ain't going on anywhere else. And so people would say, well, tariffs are bad. Tariffs are bad. Well, if tariffs are so bad, if they're so destructive to your economy, why does everybody have them on us?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Mark talked about Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And so, 45, 50% tariffs. I know when I go to Brazil, if you try and buy a GoPro camera in Brazil, it is 3 times as expensive.
Oh.
And it's not because it's a better camera. It's the same camera. It's because of taxes, tariffs, duties, things like that, excise taxes. And so I want to see free trade. But to get those people, to get those countries to agree to some level of freer trade, you have to get them to the table. You have to make this, and this is the art of the deal. This is the negotiation part that people don't like, is when you create an uncomfortable feeling in the room. When somebody is really uncomfortable. Like, I would negotiate. I was at. Do you remember Sun TV, Ron?
Sun TV.
Yeah, many years ago, Sun TV.
Oh, like a store.
Yeah, it was a store.
Okay.
And we had just bought a house, and we were going to buy a washer and a dryer. And they were known for negotiating with you. And so I go in, and my wife is with me, and he gives me the price. I said, I don't like that price. This is the price that I like. And my wife looks at me and she said, would you just pay him what he's asking?
I got so embarrassing.
And I said,
leave.
would you mind waiting in the car?
Yeah, gladly, actually.
I am working a deal here. This is high finance, and I need some freedom. Well, she was uncomfortable because I made him uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where most people fail at negotiating. They say, well, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Well, in negotiating, you're going to have to break some eggs. You're going to hurt some feelings. You're going to make people feel uncomfortable.
In hopes that they come to the table and we'll bring it down a little bit.
Yes. You gotta give them a reason to want to create a better deal. Right. And I think that's what Trump did. So I don't think necessarily that he blinked. I don't know. I'm not in the room. But I think what he did is he got people to the table, and now they're at the table. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly what we wanted, because if we start tariffing industries, and the automobile industry from the late 70s, early 80s is the best example, we made it very difficult for other people to send cars here, thereby protecting our auto industry.
Right.
So what did they do? They built crummy cars because they knew they didn't have to innovate. But when you took those tariffs off, when you took those excise taxes off, and the Japanese came here and they started building a really good car, our car company said, hey, we have to innovate. And they started allocating money to innovation, product development, all those things. If you're not forced to innovate, you're not going to innovate. And that's why free trade is so good. That's what we really want. No tariffs going there, no tariffs coming here. We all get a cheaper price and a better product. So I think what you're going to see is the tariffs, as they were written, are never going to go into effect. And I've been telling people, buy the chaos, buy this chaos, because these tariffs are never going into effect.
What does that mean, buy the chaos?
When you see, we had a chance to buy the market over the last couple of weeks that we haven't had in 3 years. The last time was 2022 under the Biden administration. The time before that was 2020 in the pandemic. And when you can buy the world's best companies at highly discounted prices, and I don't want to name names because somebody's going to run out and buy that stock, whether it's right for them or not. But when you can buy the world's best companies at 20% off, 30% off, some 40% off, you have to do it. And I had people calling me saying, I just can't take this. I just can't take this. And I said, listen.
They can't take this because they're worried about what they're already invested in, seeing it plummet.
Yes. Well, for those people who were invested, you just wait it out. Stop looking at
Just don't
your
look
statement.
at it. Just don't look
Stop
at it.
looking at your statement. And I was telling them the whole time, look, this is what's going to happen. We're going to be talking about tariffs through June. It actually came off a lot faster than what I thought, and the rise was more violent than I had anticipated to the upside. Now, we could give some of that back. That's okay. If you get another bite at this apple, bite the apple. This is how you make money in investments. This is how you do it. So you might be a little bit uncomfortable while the market's down, but if you have cash, we want to buy. I have trained my clients very well because they're calling me and saying, how do I get you more cash? And I always say, show me the money, Jerry. Show me the money. This is when we buy. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be painful a little bit, but this is how you make money in the market.
Hey there, thanks for joining us. Like you, we're looking for a different kind of conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video.